TitleMatchNetwork.com.
If you're in this business, you're in the business to make money, and you are a businessman, and the product you're selling is yourself. So you're going to try to package that product the best way you can, sell that product the best way you can, and if it stops selling, well, I've got to repackage it and sell it some more. So it's a business of survival. The only thing that I would say, and the one thing I can say that I never did, was I never stepped over people. I never lied about people. I never stepped on people to present my package. And I don't think that Hulk Hogan ever did that either. I don't think he ever had to. But did he do what he had to survive? You betcha. Did he do what he had to continue to make that income and provide for his family? You bet he did. And I don't know enough to say, was he ever unscrupulous about it? I don't know.
Right.
To me, no. To me, never. I always have liked Terry. I consider Terry a friend. He's not somebody that I haven't talked to him since I left the WCW. Relationships in the business are like, you can like a guy, get along, think the world of him. You don't see him for 3 or 4 years, maybe 10 years, but when you do see each other, it's like you just saw each other yesterday. Hey, man, how you doing? I like the guy. Right now, I think it's time. It's my personal opinion. I think that, I'm 46 years old, and I believe he's the same age as I am. Rick's 50. I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of these young 21, 22 years old guys that do not have the cardiovascular energy and in the shape that Ric Flair is in. That guy is in shape and always has been.
Right.
But Ric Flair also looks like a 50-year-old man in the ring. And, I love Rick. Rick's another guy. I can't believe I haven't mentioned him. Rick is another guy who I tremendously enjoyed working with.
Had some great matches.
And had some great matches with. And extremely easy to work with. But, I think Rick's holding on. You know what? I guess you don't want to let go, but it comes to a point where that everything's got to change. Nothing lasts forever. And my personal thing is, because I hear people, I sit sometimes and the show will be on, and I've had people sitting next to me watching Rick on TV and say, "God, man, Flair, you were great, buddy. You were great, but you're getting old. It's time to step down." And I've had people ask me, they say, "Ted, would you ever go back?" Well, never say never.
Right.
If the right situation came up and it was just like a special deal, like a one-time out of retirement, whatever, but to go back to work steady, no. Do I miss it? The only time I miss the business is when I see a real good match, or I see some guy out there that's young and has a tremendous amount of potential, and I go, man, I'd love to get in the ring with that guy for,
Who are some guys right now?
Yeah, some guys right now. Gosh, guys right now that I respect as having the potential or already have that. The young guys that I see, the Dean Malenkos and the Chris Benoits and the Eddie Guerreros and the Chris Jerichos. And I'll be real honest with you, I haven't watched a lot lately. There's a lot of new guys that I don't even know. But certainly those guys. There's some more. Right. I just can't think of them right now that I see the potential of having that. But sometimes I think I know I've watched Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko have some tremendous matches. But even as I watched them, I thought to myself, guys, you're working harder than you have to. You're wasting moves. Because part of the thing that's missing in the business today is any realism. I mean, there's no logic to it anymore. It's It's that's one of the things that I saw happening in Japan that just drove me nuts. Was you guys have two guys go out there, and in a 20-minute match, you'll see 30 suplexes. Somebody gets power bombed off the top rope to the floor, and he bounces up. Nobody sells anything anymore, and then he gets beat with a small package. There's no rhyme and no reason. There's no logic. Where there was a time when you could punch a guy one time, and if he sold it properly, or you could build a match. You could build a match in a way where it's a wrestling contest, for example, and they get tied up in the ropes, and the referee makes them break, and they go back and they wrestle, and the guy reverses a move, and this guy reverses a move, and they get tied up in the ropes, and the referee makes them break, and they break, and for 15 minutes it's a contest back and forth, and it's clean, and then about the 20-minute mark, the referee goes to make them break, and the heel throws one punch, and those people want to come to the ring and kill him.
Right.
That's telling a story. Today, it's 50 punches and 30 drop kicks and bounce right up.
Right.
No rhyme or no reason. No, there's no logic to the business anymore. I kind of got off track there, but the Hulkster is a guy who did the very most with what he had. And the old saying is, ride that horse till it drops.
Right.
Ride it till it drops. And he's riding it till it drops. Do I think it's time? I think it's time, and I think he knows that too. Here's what my prediction was, and he didn't say this to me, but I knew when he turned heel. A lot of people said this to me. Even as I go and speak in churches and stuff like that, they go, I just think it's terrible that Hulk Hogan became a bad guy after he was such a positive image for kids. And I go, I think you're not treating him fair. I said, you have to understand that he's a guy playing a role. I said, that'd be like saying to me, Ted, it's really disappointing that you played Satan in the church play. Why? I'm telling a story. I'm playing a part. And Hulk Hogan played a part of a good guy, a hero, and he got as much out of that as he could until he realized this is getting old. And the only way for me to repackage my product is to go the other way. And he did that. But I knew when he did that before he left the business, he would become Hulk Hogan in the red and yellow again and go out a good guy. And that's what I see him trying to do right now. And I hope that's what he does. He looks great. My gosh, I got all, I know he, for the movies and all that stuff, they wanted him leaner. And he did that. But man, he's looking good again. He's looking great.
TitleMatchNetwork.com